All right, so I got the car jacked up and I got the wheels off, which was actually pretty tough, and I'm gonna show you exactly why this car is not worth saving. So we're gonna climb on the ground under here and really show you what the deal is. There's a lot going on here. This is all pushed in, this is all flaking off with rust. This is the carpet in the car. The floor actually ends here. There's no rocker panel at all. So like what this would normally bolt to, there's normally a huge panel right here, and it's all missing. And it actually looks like somebody already welded some kind of box steel here. You know, the frame is all here, but this is where, look at that. The frame itself is all completely broken off here. And at some point, somebody already tried to fix it. This is hilarious. Like, this is, not only is this cut just horribly, no care, no nothing, just kind of said, whatever, you know, okay, that's cool. That's the inside of the car in there. But anyway, this is all completely gone. Horrible. In order to even get it on the air, I had to use the wheel tub and some 2x4s because there was no way. I tried putting the jack there, it started crumbling. I can't use the subframe mounts because I need to drop the subframe and I need to drop the tank. I need all this stuff. There's just nothing. We even tried putting a jack on this, and this started crushing into the car as well. There's nothing anywhere to put anything. Wheel tub, some 2x4s. Thing's actually solid, not going anywhere. The front of the car really isn't too bad. There's really not too much going on up there as far as rust. It's actually pretty clean from like the firewall forward, we'll call it. So just for reference, I'm actually going to show you what it should look like on this car over here. Okay, so we're under the driver's side, the same exact spot on this car, and wow. We are looking great. This floor is nice. This is a little twisted. Really not too big of a deal, this thing right here, but we have floor, we have everything we need. This entire piece is what was missing. As you can see, the subframe is supposed to mount to it, and it's supposed to mount on the rocker here. This is the pinch weld. So like this whole thing is just gone on the other car. This shell is very clean. We're going to be putting everything on this. That other shell just isn't worth saving. I'm okay with it. Nobody would want to even bother trying to fix that. It's not worth finding a clean shell and grafting the stuff onto it. It's just not worth doing. So we found a new shell. We have this as a donor. It's just going to be a bunch of work between now and then. Stripping this thing out, getting all the wiring and all the body panels and everything over, full interior, everything off this thing. Let's get to work.
the only one. Keep on dreaming, this is a new beginning. Get yourself levitating, don't ever let life pull you down.
All right, so I just finished pulling out all the dash and all that stuff. It actually came out a lot easier than I expected it to with how much rust is on this car. Everything kind of came right off, super easy. It's time to show you guys really how bad the floors were. I started poking around a little bit at that like fire suppression stuff that's on the floor and just peeling it back and realizing how little metal there actually is. This is the real reason why we're not saving this car. So this is the rear floor here. I don't know how much worse it gets. So like these two screws are actually holding in a new like boxed frame steel that the subframe was bolted to. There's no floor here and it's cracked all the way through. This isn't even on here. I can pull this out. It's crazy how none of this is attached. So if this got hit, like this thing would come ripping off the car. With how little that's attached to it still. You can see daylight through there, through here. It's nuts. There's nothing here. Other side's just as bad. What the metal that you're seeing through the hole is a rocker that was replaced at some point that was just put on over the metal. All the way through. It's so gnarly. So with how bad this is, I'm not even going to bother trying to save it. Someone else can save it if they want to, but not going to be me. Now that we're under the car with some better light, this is the floor from underneath. There's nothing here, and this is that tube steel that's been inserted into what's left of the frame rail. Just inserted in there, welded in to nothing. This is hilarious. Like the only thing holding this together is actually this little spot right here where this cut comes down. Right here, it's actually on there pretty good, but this is just the driver's side. I can walk over to the passenger side, but it's just as bad. This is what the floor looks like with the rocker cover that was put on at some point later with the floor to cover the existing the existing shit. Crazy how bad it was. So like the guy told me that it was all nice and good, and I looked under there and all you see is floor. The frame is actually pretty nice, but the floor meets the new floor. Nuts. From like the firewall forward, it's actually a really clean, you know, kooky front end. This whole front clip is actually super nice. There's a little rust right down here. Otherwise, it's actually pretty nice. But as soon as you get past the firewall, it's all crap. Welded to nothing, basically. Through bolted. Just welded right here to the floor. That's why it's like ripping the chassis apart. Alright, now that we're pretty much done stripping this thing, I think we're going to call it here. This thing's pretty much stripped down to nothing, and we're going to get started on the new shell. I'm really excited actually about that because I've never built an S chassis before, so I already learned so much just by taking this thing apart. I'm really excited for the new chassis to get put together, and I'm going to kind of lay everything out and get this build going hopefully pretty quickly because I have some plans that I really want to get done. And spring is around the corner, so stay tuned for more S chassis work. We're going to be building one from the ground up using just a shell, and stay tuned for more. Thanks.